Okay, now ready to start. As I say, these demos take a bit longer to get set up each time. Some of you may have seen this demo either on YouTube or on the open day. It's one of my standard things that I show to encourage people to come and talk about computing. Going to look here today, don't know how well you can see the tomatoes there at the front for it, and a little circuit board behind it by a company called Makey, who do some sort of sensors to interact with people. Here we've got GarageBand, a Mac sort of utility working in the background that works off key presses to display sort of keys as is. One of the purposes behind using this Makey board is to perhaps sort of play that sort of tune by touch or together to sort of get it working. Now to some people sort of viewing that, as I say, if you've seen it before, they're not sort of too impressed with it, but on an open day, this is one of the things that seems to grab people and say, what's going on here, basically, for it. You may have noticed that I'm sort of holding onto a wire. It's not strictly touch sensor for it. It's more like making a circuit. If I just join the two wires together, they can sort of make the sound. But also, because I conduct electricity, I've got a water content. The fruit has got a water content, and it just enables it to complete the circuit. And the little board just generates a key press that it sends off to that connected device to it. In this case, key presses, as I say, they're interpreted just as a musical note. So if you want to, GarageBand's fairly sort of typical one, but you can get some. This is where we probably annoy the neighbours. We turn it into a lead guitar. A bit more impressive sort of thing coming out of it like that. Now that's, there we're just feeding it into, say, this GarageBand thing. This generates a key press up to about sort of 16 different key presses. But what you could have it doing is controlling a game instead. So as you, rather than having a keyboard to control it with, or a joystick controller, whichever one for it, you can just have that sort of touch approach. And think of the sort of type of interfaces that you might be able to develop if you weren't tied to actually having to sit there at the sort of keyboard. Obviously it doesn't have to be tomatoes, it could be anything that conducts electricity. Anything with a water content. So you could effectively do it out of something like Play-Doh, which has got a water content, and build your own controller, build your own sort of shape out of it, and then when you sort of touch it, it generates a key press, and that can be the equivalent of jumping up and down, left and right, loading the gun up, whatever you want that key press to be. And it doesn't have to be, again, with sort of a game or that. To show that it's generating a key press, if I bring up Word instead, I could have a tomato tomato typewriter, and as you're touching them, you're getting the sort of character coming through for it. If you had 26 tomatoes, you could have your own little word processor built out of tomatoes. I've seen demos where people plug it into the bottom of a cup of water, and as they're drinking, that makes it makes for great performance art as well, this sort of thing. There I've just sort of plugged it into word processor, as I say, a sort of sound generator. You could do something like this bit of code might look familiar. Send to server. Anybody sort of seen that method before, or something like that? In this case, what's being sent to the server is a letter or a position to move the servo to. So if I just start this going, these were little I got it attached to a motor. So instead of, hopefully is where it, as you touch the different fruit, you can make the little arrow point to whichever one you want. So in the back of that, there's nothing particularly special in here, other than that it'll all fall out if I open it up. There's just one of those servo motors in the back of it, linked to a USB cable. So in the software, whatever key's being typed, it's sort of in case it's a different key, I get a little thing saying what's pressed, and I move the servo to that particular position. That's just a variant of what you were doing in the lab. Yeah. For it, you were doing in the lab where you would you'd tell the servo to move to something that you dragged from the database. The other thing that this is doing in the background, hopefully, is sending that off. That was the most recent one, but it sends the motor position off. If I just select start from it again, and it doesn't seem to have updated it. That's great. Oh, I'm right, it's not working. Remember that problem that we said we had that if you were trying to contact MySQL internally at MMU through a wireless connection, it wouldn't talk to it or something like that. That's what I've sort of got in here. It's fine if it's a wired connection. It's fine on certain Wi-Fi networks. But you can see some of the previous ones, I was just testing it out before, that makey motor position was where as the motor was turning between 0, 90, 180, whatever it was sort of going to, was just sort of being updated. And we just had that in here. So whenever I move the servo to a particular position, yeah, it would set the servo to that target position, but then send to server with the makey motor position and that old bit of code, as I say, that hopefully you're fairly familiar with, sending off to the sensor server URL, the sensor name, motor makey, with whatever current particular position it was at. I was just having a bit of trouble getting that. I completely forgot about the Wi-Fi. But yeah, luckily I've still got some old data in there as to when it was working on one. I think that was one of the open days when we were doing it, the 21st, which is sort of work with. So again, just another case of linking together these supposedly disparate type things, and what you do with them is up to you. You know, we're gathering the data, in this case through like a touch sensor. What you do with it then, make a noise, turn a motor, write it to a database, is up to you. Turn a light on. That's what you're building together with in the sort of lab, Stuart. All controlled really in the background by that server, where we're sending the details to the server, perhaps sort of writing them in the database, and then somebody else can dig it out. So a motor can say, what position should I be in? I'll just ask the database for that to sort of get it out. Just as another sort of quick aside demo, I'll unplug that turner. Some of you are probably familiar with things like the Kinect. A company called Leap Motion. It has had to hold up to here, sorry, as far as the thing lifts up. Lead motion do this little detector to detect hand movement. It's about the size of a USB stick. So that when you move your hand above it, so it recognises the orientation, your finger movements, or two hands. So it's rather like the Kinect for it. Well, this sort of thing would be good for gesture control of devices where you can sort of tell a device to go away or pick something up. And it comes with a little orientation session. I'll bring this along to the lab so that people can have a play with it if they like. This is a little orientation session on using the virtual hand. Now notice you don't have to wear gloves or anything like that. It's not like you're wearing a special handset. It's rather like the Kinect. It just sort of works on what you've got, and you rather handedly pick up a... I've been trying this for a couple of years and I still can't do it. Eventually you're sort of supposed to pick them up and put on top of the robot.